Zombie Apocalypse.
Hey guys, welcome to another video on this channel, Chalo Gaming. Today we will be showing you how you can beat Beatdown Golem with a 2.6 Hog Rider deck. I'll be showing you 2 ladder replays and a one replay from the global tournament actually. So against this deck, their deck is always going to be a lot more expensive than yours, and with your deck, which is a cycle deck, if you're playing 2.6 of course, you will have to defend with everything that you have, because defending a golem push is not easy. In this case, you'll want to do a cannon placement like that, and the skellies can actually be very helpful when taking down a golem. And then you also want to place the musketeer on the left hand side like that to take care of the supporting units. It's always the same placements, even if they have, because these placements are anti-lightning, anti-fireball, anti-poison, most of the things if you do them correctly. And when defending a push like that, you first want to place either your cannon or your musketeer, because that means that you will be able to cycle back to them and you will be able to use them again if they lightning or poison or kill them somehow. In addition, you also want to be very aggressive against these decks. Whenever they place a golem in the back, you just want to go with Hog Rider on the opposite lane, as that will help you. That will actually make them have to spend a lot more elixir defending your push, which means that they will not have as much elixir to support their golem, which is actually a good thing for you, because when you have a full golem push coming at you, it's going to be a tough one. So here he's always playing golems at the river. I'm not quite sure why he does that, but don't worry, the next replays do not throw all their golems in the river. They actually start them from the back, and they make a more elaborate and interesting and difficult to stop push. But this is in ladder, so you also have to take into account that the opponent's cards are a lot higher in level than our cards, which also plays a difference, even though we're managing to pull this pretty well, I would say. So the skellies, a lot of people don't use them on defense, but if you defend a golem with only a cannon, it will still reach your tower in its first form. But if you use the skeletons with the cannon, the golem will not reach the tower in its first form. It will reach, the golemites will reach though. And the main thing about the golem is it does a lot of damage when it is at its first form, and its death damage is also very, very significant. But if you manage to split it down to the golemites, you don't have to worry as much, as they do a lot less damage. And when you place your cannon in the middle, usually one golemite will go one way and the other golemite will go the other way. So in this case, he was always supporting his golems in the same way. He was always supporting them with minions. So it was easy to just fireball them and just take the golems out, and then just counter with a Hog Rider, and just he would always defend as well with the Skarmy. So I try to predict with a log in the previous one, but he actually used Inferno Tower, which is it's a very weird card to have in your deck if you're playing golem, as usually they will not have structures unless they have the Goblin Cage or something like that, but usually they'll bring in a Lumberjack or a Night Witch and a Mega Minion, so they don't really need a structure, because they want to turn it's in their name, it's a beatdown deck. So what they want to do is they can take a lot of damage. And as you saw there, the prediction log at the end and prediction fireball actually managed to allow us to win the game in that time. If not, we would have probably won it a bit later on, but it would have gotten complicated because he was also getting close to spell range. And here we're actually playing against a double prince golem deck. So this is a lot of people would think that this is a difficult deck to play against when using 2.6, but it really isn't. You just have to acknowledge that one of the princes does area damage and the other one does single unit damage. So for example, for the Dark Prince, you would want to tank it with the ice golem and the normal prince, you would want to tank it with the skellies. And he also has poison, which you will see in this match why it's so important to place your musketeer and your cannon the way we place it. Because look, the poison is hitting the cannon, but it's not hitting the musketeer. So the musketeer manages to stay alive and just finish off the golemites. And you will see whenever he does a full push with his princess and everything, the musketeer will get huge value as the poison is not able to finish her off. And again, we countered with a Hog Rider, which is the main thing that you want to keep doing, because as I said before, when you attack with your Hog Rider, it leaves your opponent with less elixir to use in offense. However, you also have to consider that when you use your Hog Rider and they use a card to defend, for example, let's say they use the Night Witch to defend your Hog Rider, that means that the Night Witch, they cannot use it in their push with the Golem again. That's why we push the other lane. And that is huge, as the Night Witch goes greatly with the Golem, as the bats are very annoying. But see here how we defend the Prince. We put down the cannon and then the skellies. So we were able to defend a 5 elixir Prince for a 4 elixir cannon. And here he says good luck because he thinks that he's gonna beat us in double elixir. What he doesn't know is that our deck is even better in double elixir as well. It's not only his. And when you know how to defend, how to play against a golem with 2.6, it can be very annoying for him to try and break your defense. So here, see, we waited for their poison as it was hitting our musketeer, and then we placed our cannon outside the poison. And as we placed our musketeer, before we placed anything else, we were able to cycle back to another musketeer, which is great as it can now help us take down the prince that is coming on the left hand side. So we place a musketeer on the right hand side and some skellies high up there so that our musketeer can take out the prince and we don't have to drop more elixir on that lane. And now on the right we have a very good push, so we're going to support it with a Hog Rider, and then as we know that he's low on elixir, we're going to fireball to kill the Night Witch, and that's going to get some damage on his tower, which is very close to us being able to actually finish the game in 1 or 2 pushes, or just in spell range. But now whenever they do a big push like this, you just want to go the other lane so that they don't have elixir for a golem or to place the Night Witch in the same lane or stuff like that, you know. And then always try and get a lot of chip damage with your logs at the bridge, because over time you can use, if you use like around 6 logs on average, you use around 7 logs or 6 logs in a match. So when you use them, all of them at the river, you can get easily like 600 or 700 more damage than you would if you didn't. And see how we try to predict the fireball, but it didn't work out as he used tornado. And here, watch how the musketeer is outside the poison, and all the troops that we place are outside the poison as well, because the poison can actually, we don't want to feed elixir into the poison, and we don't want to give him a lot more value than what he already has. And he drops a golem at the bridge, meaning that he has no elixir to defend, and even though he tornadoes our Hog Rider, musketeer was behind it, which actually allows us to fireball the tower out. It was a very good match, and however we ended up beating him. And now this is actually a challenge or tournament match, and we're playing against a golem that has Ice Wizard and the Goblin Cage as a structure to defend our Hog Rider. You will see that a lot of people actually, you will see in this match, that he plays his Goblin Cage whenever he is leaking elixir just to be playing something, which is actually a good play in his part. But that way we can attack the other lane with our Hog Rider and it will not target his Goblin Cage, so it's not the best play. And here, since he plays the Golem in the back, we go all out on the other side with a Hog Rider. Or not all out, don't spend all your elixir, but just put a bit of pressure and see how much value we managed to get from that. And now just do the usual placements you would do. Just the cannon there, and then a nice golem to bring the baby dragon to the left so that the musketeer can target the baby dragon instead of the golem. And see how he used lightning? Well, he could only lightning our musketeer, and by that time it was too late because when the golem splits, when you kill the first golem form, your tower actually retargets onto another unit that there is. So our tower was able to finish off the baby dragon. So here you can see that we're at a slight elixir advantage, but as all his cards are super expensive, we're in a way better position than he is. And I think we're just gonna cycle a log here because we don't have much to do. We don't want to waste our fireball, our musketeer, or our cannon, as they are very valuable defenses. But yeah, we will just start a slow roll musketeer in the back to defend his golem in the bridge. And he tries to place an ice wizard to counter our Hog Rider, but the ice wizard doesn't have that much range, so our Hog Rider is actually able to take down his tower. And now all we have to do is just finish off, defend successfully the next pushes that he does. So you can see that he lightnings our musketeer, but we place a cannon to distract one of the golemites. I'm not really sure if that was one of the best plays, but then we just wait for the ice wizard to lock onto the tower and we finish it off with the skellies. Because as I said before, the golemites don't do as much damage as the main form, so you can just leave it in your tower and you will be alright. It has to be addressed. Don't leave it every single time, but if you leave it once or twice, you'll be fine. And here, since now we actually know that he'll use lightning most of the times, we don't want to place two musketeers at the same time, so we wait until he's used his lightning and then we place our second musketeer, and we're able to cycle to a second cannon, a second ice golem, a second log. So you can see how this deck works. It's just amazing, and you can get a lot of value from all your cards. So I hope you learned a lot from this video. If you did, let me know in the comments and hit the like button. And if you liked it, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me bring out more content like this. And I'll see you in the next time. Bye. Your relationships are never